today for the session we will be discussing the main topic for our discussion will be our profile, our CV or resume, the content, design, and the presentation which actually clicks. We are in 2021, so there are a lot of dynamics with how we should present ourselves and how we should be open to the present day requirements, with employers, with agency, with recruitment centers. So this is the main session, main topic. Then ATS compliance. What is ATS? Why your profile should be ATS compliant. So we'll be getting onto that as well. Job search, how to search for a job and where to search for a job. Then how to make your cover letter, the contents in it, the format of your cover letter, and your work portfolio. Basically, the contents that should be in your work portfolio and the format of your work portfolio. And then there are these additional topics, which is the IELTS, COS, that is the certificate of sponsorship, visa, your studying options if you are planning to go abroad and study there, professional websites, especially LinkedIn, and music related jobs, works, activities. So part of these topics, especially the fifth point, we discussed this in the previous session. So if you were not there in the previous session, you can stay. By the time we'll end this, we will start with a recap of especially point number 5. So we'll dive into the session. So all those guys who are joining in between, so please keep your questions ready. We will have a thorough discussion towards the end, whatever you want to discuss. So, and this session is getting recorded, so I'll try my best to edit out the good parts from the session, and I'll put it up so that you can all check it later. All right, so profile, CV or resume. So why we need a profile, why we need a CV or a resume? Why do you think,
Basically, so basically to give the recruiter a fair amount of idea to what this
Mhm.
guy is or girl is capable of, basically what
Perfect.
he or she has done in the
Mhm.
past, maybe the qualifications, and of course might be looking in the recruiter might be looking into the way it is being presented, like that's the thing we are here to discuss, I guess. So that's
Yes.
the pretty basic thing. Yeah, I
Ye-
that clicked in my mind.
Perfect. Perfect. The most important thing with our profile, our CV or a resume is that, it has to give our impression before we meet those people who are supposed to hire us. Because one thing we have to always know and one thing we have to always accept, that we are not going to meet everyone whomsoever we are trying to approach. Even if you approach Tim Cooks of Apple, your CV can reach him at one point of time. If you want to approach Elon Musk, it is possible that Elon Musk might read your resume, but it's up to them if they decide that you guys are supposed to be in their same workplace. So what would make them select you? Why you need to build your CV in a specific manner? What are the things you should do? What are the things that you shouldn't do? Some basic things. So these are the kind of pointers that we will be discussing here, so that when you apply the next time, you have a better response. So what is a profile? What is a CV or a resume? It's your first impression, for an agency or a recruiter, employer or HR before you are selected, for the further process or for the interview. What is CV abbreviated for? Curriculum vitae, or the Latin for course of life. So actually, the history of CV started in ancient Greece, where people, when they wanted to be part of the culture, they they were taken for jobs according to what they used to do in life. For example, if there's a woodcutter, so he will do that work. If there is a mason, he will do that kind of work. If there's a goldsmith, he will do that kind of work. So work was assigned to people of what they used to do as a family background. It was not something like Okay, you are a singer, but you are going into, construction. If you are a soldier, then you are not going into medicine. It was something that was very specific. It was not that, you were doing just about anything. But today, in 2021, one person is doing hundreds of things, and that is what, organizations today want. So why is a CV needed? A CV gives your employer reasons why you are the best person for the job. So same, it's a very straightforward answer, right? So what kind of information do you find on a CV? Name, your contact details, your qualifications, experience, technical and personal skills, extracurricular activities that you are involved in or you have done, and a little bit more. So when you begin to put together your own CV, you will then figure out that how sellable you are. So I am going into a bit personal now. When I came to London, I approached almost, before I got my current job, I guess I approached some 100 or 150 jobs everywhere that I could find. The worst part when you apply is when you don't get a response back. So I talked to my brother about it, and he said that, maybe your CV is not up to date. Maybe, people are not getting, where you want to be or what you want from them. So he helped me, to design the CV, and then I started getting response. Not all the responses worked, but yes, the moment I transformed the design, the format, the content, the results started pouring in. So this is the important part. Please, you can take a note of it. This is the most important part. Your bio, a short bio about yourself. That is very important. You should always start, with a bio about yourself, 4 5 lines, 3 4 lines, telling them, what you are, who you are, what you are good at. A kind of a brief introduction about yourself, your education, where you have studied, what all you have studied, your experience, where you have worked, the kind of timeline of work that you were involved in, your achievements, what all you have achieved in life. And a lot of people have asked me, like, can they mention personal achievements? So I tell them that, personal achievements, if they have been done in a fashion where they have been, rewarded on a society based thing. For example, like you have won a singing competition in your society or in your district, then that's something to be commended for, because it's not easy. So put it up. Let the person know that you were a winner, in your childhood or in your teen or in your college days, or if you have represented your college, and you have won competitions. Put that as achievements, because employers, when they are searching, they want, these kind of people to take jobs who have been, on the winning side. So that works. Again, your skill set. What are you good at? If you are a singer and you play the guitar, or you are a musician and you produce, you do audio engineering, or you dance, or you're good with computers, you do programming, all these kind of things, they add to your specialization. Your technical know-how, if you can operate, consoles, if you can, yeah, Manoj, you can tell me. Yes, yes, you have raised your hands. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, tell me.
Bhaiya, I just a question that clicked into my mind. See,
Hmm.
my background is from engineering. I used to be an
Hmm.
engineer.
Hmm.
Now I have switched sides. I'm a full-time musician now. So
Okay.
just for that, I don't. But I think is I don't need to mention all those my BTech degrees and all in my CV when it is specifically meant for music. What do you think? Yeah, what should I do? Is it all?
See, I will come to that. Basically, you need different types of CVs. That's the answer. All right,
Okay, I will
that's the
wait.
answer. Yeah,
Right, right.
but I'll
Yeah.
come to I'll come to that in detail.
Okay, okay.
So the technical know-how, basically technical know-how is, for example, a software. If you are good at that software, if you can, operate some kind of machinery, or if you are good with, communications, or you are good with some kind of electrical engineering or mechanical engineering. So these technical know-hows, they add up, because when people read and they get to know that technically you are strong in, certain things, they, they have a strong impression about you. Your extracurricular activities,
Right.
definitely, what you do, you read, you sing, or you like traveling. Now there are jobs which require a person to travel. There are certain jobs which require a person to travel from one place to another. So now when your curricular activities mention that you also travel, you like traveling, you like visiting new places, that adds on, that gives weight to your profile. Then definitely your strengths, you're a good team, uh, as in you're good with teams, you're a team leader, you have good communication skills, and you can improvise in a given situation, you can handle crisis well. That is one of the points which people tend to check if a person is good in a situation or in a crisis. So every strength, every weakness, every skill, it should show through in that one document. So uh, I had a discussion about weaknesses. So when I'll show you the CV, I'll show you the kind of weakness that I have mentioned. So I'll tell you that even if you're mentioning weakness, it it should reflect as a strength. So I'll come to that. All right. So there are do's and don'ts, on when we create our CV. So there are certain do's and don'ts that we need to ensure. So this is some examples, good examples and bad examples. So why do you think, uh, the ones in green marked as good CV example? Why do you think these are good, and why the right one? It's a bad example. So please note, both these CVs are complete. All right, both these CVs are full. The first one, these are two. There are two sides of it, and the one on the right side, that's also a fuller CV. So just go through it, go through the contents, and if you want to switch on your mic and speak, because on my screen right now I can only see few people and the session. I may not be able to see you, so if you want to speak, just turn on your camera, turn on your mic and just speak up, right?
The green one is more detailed, yet
Mm-hmm.
presented in very briefly,
Yes.
and the red one is like completely briefly. जो
Hmm.
मतलब it's like ये है देख लो.
So you can understand, David Gibbons has put in a kind of a CV which is like, which states that he wishes to share information. That's one. And second, he is presenting in a manner that if somebody reads, they can go through certain points. They can go through achievements, qualification, skills, hobbies and interests, the employment, the education. And there's a personal statement. That's the bio. But in terms of the person on the right side, to be honestly, you don't even know the person. There is no name. All right, there is no name, there's no address, there's no contact number. It's like, it's very vague. I won't ever hire a person who will send a CV to me, and I don't think anyone will hire a person who is sending a CV without their name. So this is like kind of a quick example. Then let us check out the major differences which we already discussed. So just quickly go through the basic differences that you can point out. I'll share it with you, what I felt. So did you notice anything about the presentation of dates? So on the left hand side, the David Gibbons CV, if you notice, the education is listed properly. The the dates are mentioned, the year is mentioned, what was done in that year was mentioned, and a specific detail. For example, 2009 to 2013, BSc Computer Science Honors from Aston University, first class degree with professional placement. So there is a bit of detail. Now when you go, it's just IT support, IT admin, IT assistant, things like this. It's pretty vague. So don't don't make that mistake. So yes, lot of things are missing. Achievements are missing. Education is missing. name itself is missing, address is missing, phone number is missing. What if that person is getting the job? How will the employer even contact that person? You know, so basic examples. Yeah, this I had, a good amount of discussion. Yes, yes, Abby. Yes, please.
One thing I notice here is, under the employment section on the
Hmm,
left hand side,
hmm,
we can see all of the companies that the person has, worked in,
hmm,
and
hmm,
from in that company what all he has done. However,
hmm.
in the second one, we cannot see like, what all task he has done during that job.
Right, right, right. So even though, for example, even though you have worked at 10, 15 places, but if you're unable to share what you were doing, may end up, into a weak impression. Because see, the whole point is, uh, for an employer, maybe maximum 2 minutes or 3 minutes is what they will give to your CV. I guess it should be lesser than that. But if it's not attractive enough, you lose yourself, your impression in that 3 minutes. So if you go with David Gibbons CV, you can go through certain information, and it's giving you kind of an impression that he has done some work, he has done certain work, and he has been involved in it. But in the right hand side, even though there is work that is listed, but that work is not sorted, or you do not have much detail about it, so you may not be able to trust that person ki, even if it's true or not. So that's also there. So this is my CV. So guys, let me quickly introduce you all. I don't know how many people are there, but let me quickly introduce you all to my elder brother, Jackson V George, who is right now online with us. And he is the guy who has turned my life around by designing this beautiful CV. So what you read is all about me, and how this has been designed is all the efforts from my elder brother, who took that information and crafted this CV, which generated all the responses that I started receiving. I received response from Universal Music. I received response from Viacom. I received response from, I guess, 30, 40, jobs that I applied. So in the last 50 jobs that I applied, I almost received response from 40 organizations, agencies, recruiters. At least they told me, I lacked experience, I lacked London experience, or they were looking for, someone senior, or they they found someone better. But the best part was I started receiving response, which I wasn't getting before I made this version, before my brother made this version. So guys, I'll hand you over to my brother, who is online with us. He has very little time with us here, he has another meeting. So he will tell, he will share about this, and especially about ATS, which is a very important part of the session. So brother, big brother, over to you. Please take it up, please go ahead.
Hey, hi guys. I believe you can hear me out. Thank you, Dixon, for fantastic introduction. But honestly, this is something that I believe we all should know. And I did not do much. It was just that while working with corporates and working with creators, I understand like every requirement has a certain way of presentation. And when we're trying to do that, what we need to know is how we're going to put ourselves out there, because people are looking at us, and when people are looking at us, people are actually looking at a profile and trying to understand who we are. That's the key, right? And they're not going to spend more than say 6 to 7 to 10 seconds max. I mean, only if they like your profile, they may like spend say 15 seconds, right? But that is the crucial time initially by recruiters. What they believe is like 6 seconds is what we need to just scan through and understand, do we want to call this person or not. That's it. So the first thing, whatever you, I mean, wherever you're going to send on your, I mean, send in your profile, just focus that, customize your profile very well. That's the key. So for example, like if you are sending to a school, right, try to use the language the school understands, right, and then you can introduce some language that you understand and you can, I mean you speak in your professional life. Same way if you are working for a studio, right, so in studio there's a different kind of a language that they use, so try to, I mean, use that kind of language in your CV. So the basic ball game is to have it organized, structured, and given the right information in a very short and precise time. That's what you guys need to do, right? And once you're able to do that, I think you would definitely get a call. But also remember that there is something known as ATS. Now, what you can see here is like in case of Jickson's profile, this is ATS compliant. Yet it is also graphically, pleasing. So what I've done is like I've created a mix of it, because when you say ATS doesn't understand anything. It needs clean, simple, very simple, very basic. Just imagine you're writing something on your notepad on a system. So the information that you see there, that's how the ATS basically stands for applicant tracking system, which is actually a software between the recruiter and you. So whatever you're sending, it's not directly reaching out to the recruiter, and it's a system which scans through the system. I mean, scans through all the CVs, and whatever, the keywords. For example, like if you are going for a studio, right? So they would have some specific keywords that they are looking for. So that keyword should be there in your CV or in your resume. And if that's there, then only the applicant tracking system is going to pick your profile and send it out forward to the recruiter, and then only the recruiter or the hiring manager or whoever on the other side is able to see it. Now, why this is very important? Because whenever you're applying to corporates, okay, mostly all the big organizations, they will have this thing there because they are receiving on a daily basis a lot of CVs, a lot of profiles. So they don't have the physical capacity to actually sit through and go through all the profiles. So the first thing they do, I mean, what they do is like they deploy something known as ATS. ATS scans it, they find it, okay, this is the right candidate, that kind of gets sorted and goes to the recruiter. And then the recruiter goes through, say, for example, if 100 CVs were sent, the ATS might, based on the keywords, shortlist, say 15 or 20. I mean, that's how ATS is looking at. Okay. So you have to be very specific. And once those 10 to 15 are done, then those 10 to 15 profiles actually go to the recruiter, and then the recruiter kind of scans through it, and then they may call 5 or 7 people. So that's how the system is working. Now when you're working for ATS, I mean, whenever you're trying to kind of make your profile ATS compliant, you need to follow certain things to help you understand that, okay, this is how ATS is going to look into. So these are the points that Jickson has listed. If your CV doesn't pass through ATS, the recruiter won't find your CV, right? The ATS rejects CVs with graphics, bullet points, watermarks, links, tables, etc. Right. So ATS has a basic structure that just the way you write text on a notepad, that's what is how they are looking at, because it's actually not a human based thing. Some machine is actually scanning, AI is scanning through a thing. So they don't understand bullets, they don't understand tables, they don't understand anything else. They just want simple data for them to just scan through. And the key here is to match with the keywords. So any profile that you're applying for, scan through it. While you're reading through it, you can see a lot of keywords there. You will be able to identify. Write it down on a piece of paper, and then try to see when you're putting it in your CV, the same keywords are matching, right? And if you're able to do that, ATS is going to kind of very easily clear your CV, and then the hiring manager can have a look at it. So that's how. Now coming back to Jickson's profile that I have. Okay, so for Jickson, like what I did is like simple, anything or anyone, I mean, anywhere you're trying to create your profile, stick to one page, best one page or max 2 page. Don't go beyond this, right? One page is when you have experience under 10 years. One page is good enough, right? Because nobody is going to, sit there and see your entire experience, because under 10 years, they understand you don't have so much of experience. If you have experience over 10 years, then you can go for 2 pages. That's how the industry looks at it. And even when you're sending them a profile, okay, so a resume is 2 pages. That's a standard definition. A CV is a curriculum vitae, which is like a historical, kind of a profile of from where till till today, what all you have been doing. So that could be 3 pages also, curriculum vitae. But most of the cases, resume is what the recruiters and all are asking for. Now in Jickson CV, owning a CV is like, first thing is like, the person who's reading through your CV, they don't have any clue who you are. So they want to know you. And when you're trying to tell them about yourself, also try to show how you are the right person for the listed profile, right? I mean, in your mind, you would have certain profile. Like, for example, in Dixon's case, he is a music teacher, he is a music producer, he's an entrepreneur. So like that. So like audio engineer. So like there are 3, 4 keywords related to his profile. That first thing we have to identify. Now, if you see these same keywords, if you put on search, you will get a lot of profiles. So you need to identify what keywords are associated with your profile, search it online, then get them on your CV. That's step one. Step number two, about me, write something about yourself which introduces the reader with a quick know-how about you and also gives them an idea about your personality. Best surprise them. Give them something to hold on to, because they will be going through so many CVs, so many profiles, and they should be saying, hey, I want to talk to this guy, I want to talk to this girl. So give that element of surprise. This is where about me can help you to stand out compared to competition. Then ideally you should take the achievements, the next thing, because that's what people are looking at, right? What have you achieved? And any profile that you worked, is there something distinctive that you did, right, or you are a part of? Mention that. And if you can also put a hyperlink. So in achievements you can see there's a here mention. So if you go there and you click it, it will directly put you connect you to the main page where this information is available. So this makes your profile more credible. Okay, so we are not just bluffing anything, we're actually making it more credible, right?
Okay,
Then
job has raised his hand. I'll just interrupt you, brother.
yeah, sure. Can
Job,
you
yes,
change
please.
the view? Can you
Yeah,
change the view? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hi, Bia. I
Yeah,
like
Hi,
to.
Job.
Hi. कैसे हो? All fine, na?
Good.
all good, all good.
All good. Yeah. So I like to get some query about you. Talk about the keywords, right? So
Hmm.
what kind of keywords we have to look for
See now,
the
go on.
and in achievement you talk about the hyperlink, na? So can we attach the certificates also in the hyperlink also? The all the certificate we have came across during the college time, during the internship programs. And one more is that in experience, can we add the internship program also for 2 months, 6 months also? So
Okay,
that's the query. Then
okay.
I
Yes,
Great.
Job, sure.
Thanks, Job. Thanks.
Good,
So
good.
let me quickly help you there, Job. The thing is, any information that improves the credibility, okay? Focus on this thing, credibility. It's very important. If any information you're putting in a CV and you can back it up with something, definitely put it. But what has to be put in, what shouldn't be put in is a question. Okay. Now, for example, if you're fresh out of college, right, you won't have too much experience, but you have an internship. Yes, this is the experience that you have. So you can always put your internship certificate on an online platform, and then kind of create a hyperlink and backlink it on your profile, like that. Okay, and whenever you're doing it,
but
send it.
yeah, so like I have done just now 2 months back, I have done for a fundraising program.
Uh-huh.
So how can we describe that in the experience one?
Okay, what
And
kind of
now
profile are you looking to apply?
I have looking for NGO one. So
Okay.
I'm going for applying for MSW. So in
Okay.
that basis, I'm looking for that. I'm doing the internship on the NGO basis. So
Okay.
last month I have done for the Muskurat Foundation. It's
Okay.
based in Mumbai. So there it's a fund I have done for fundraising.
Okay.
So total amount was collected about 25,000. So how
Okay.
can we describe in this the experience one and all?
Okay. Now the reason I asked you is like, because see, for Jickson this will not work. For you it will work because you have a profile of MSW. You're looking to work with an NGO, right? For an NGO, if they have an employer or team member who can raise funds, it's a very good factor, right? So definitely you should put this. Now how you can put this is where the ball game is. You have something known as LinkedIn. Okay, I've been on the platform for more than say 12, 15 years. Since 2007, 8 I've been on this platform, right? the thing is, this is the platform where a lot of people will go and search for you, right? And there you can upload your certifications, there you can upload your achievements, there you can put in anything that you want to showcase to the world, right? And customize that profile in such a way that when somebody is looking at your LinkedIn profile, they can understand, okay, this person is talking about MSW, this is the background and all. And then when they look at your profile, they can easily correlate, and then you will get a call. Trust me, you'll get a call like that. Okay, because what happens is any information which is relevant to them, okay, that is what they are looking to see, right? So in your case, if you want to put it like this, go to LinkedIn, upload your certificate there, and then you can always put a link to your LinkedIn profile, and you can say that you can check my certifications in LinkedIn, and you can have it like that.
Basically, job, if you notice that, in my CV, in the online profiles, I have mentioned the LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So if anyone who gets this file clicks on these icons, or those the links over there, the hyperlinks, they can go into the far more details of what I have presented here. So you are limited with space on your CV. You have a short attention span when anyone is going through your CV. So you can share, you can write down that you have been part of a fundraiser, which got like 25,000 rupees, in a span of 2 weeks or a month. So that is there. That information you have mentioned, that you can even mention in your achievement. And the experience would be that you have worked, for an NGO. That is the experience, and the achievement is that you have raised 25,000 rupees. But when they go to your profile, they might be able to see a video, of that activity, or maybe a felicitation program, or maybe you being at work, and there are photographs of the same. So your profile, so just like Jackson mentioned, that your LinkedIn profile is what recruiters and what agencies or employers might check in the beginning. So we were discussing, and we were planning to include the LinkedIn session in this webinar,
No.
but but but
You
but
will
we
require
but
one
we realized,
session to
yeah,
cover
but
that.
we realized that it's huge, and or to be very honest, to anyone who is hearing this, you know uh, creating a profile, or like I had a profile, but working on my LinkedIn profile actually gave me like lot of insight on where I lagged on the professional front. So we will be planning to hold a session just dedicatedly for LinkedIn. So if you would like to know in detail, Jackson is going to be taking that session, just similarly, one of the episodes we will be doing just LinkedIn, so that everyone who's interested for that can join in, and we'll be taking it up. So, brother, do you want to continue with something? Any other points? Because we are already 50 minutes
Uh,
in.
yeah, I mean, what else? So on the profile, like what I just want to share with you guys is this: whatever you're trying to put in your profile, read through the job description carefully. Okay. Step one is read through the job description carefully. Take the keywords. Every job description will have some keywords that you'll be able to identify. Note it down, and then try to correlate that with your experience, and then you put it in your CV, right? And also, whenever you're sending out a CV, most of the time try to send in as a PDF until unless asked for a Word file, right? And in a PDF, you can actually kind of create a nice one, use some colors which is graphically looking nice, and also kind of be pleasing. So what will happen is, like, compared to 100 other CVs, your CVs, if they take a printout, is going to look very different, right? Even though if they don't take a printout on the system, it's going to look, I mean, it's going to look very nice. So this will actually give you an edge, right? And again, whatever you do, stick to the overall understanding that if this is for ATS, you need to create it for ATS. If it's a generic, if you have the person's email address, then try to send it as a PDF directly to the email address. And always use the email body to write a brief note, which could be a cover letter. Then you don't have to put an additional cover letter, but in the email, introduce yourself, right? Let them know why they should look at you or why they should speak to you. So this information will always help you having an edge compared to all the other candidates. And this really works, I'm telling you, because recruiters are always looking into so many CVs and they're always looking for something which is different. So you be that difference. That's what I would share with you. Okay.
The kind of job is the kind of CV you need. So you have to be very smart and very thorough. And when we were working out on this CV, I was like very rigid with what I wanted, and he was like, you should make a couple of CVs. So you might feel a lot of information has been crammed. My actual CV was 5 pages long, and I said that it's about me, and I want to keep a 5-page CV. But Jackson said that you go ahead and you will keep struggling for the next couple of years. You won't get any jobs if you stay strong to your rigidity. You have to be flexible. So then we came up with a plan, to make two CVs, one for music teaching and one for for audio engineer. But then again, the information crisscrossed each other at certain points. So we finally came up with this. And Jackson is professionally designing, CVs. He's mentoring a lot of professionals, and as mentioned, he's like he has taken several notches up with the LinkedIn, development, profiling. So if any one of you is interested, please let me know. You can message me back, and I'll connect you on a formal note so that you can take it up because it worked for me, and I'm hoping that it might work for you. Brother, thank you so much. If anything comes up, I'll update you. Thank you so much for your valuable
Great.
time,
Great.
and I'll
Thank you,
get back to
guys.
you. Yeah,
Thank
thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Take
Siddhan.
care.
I'm so sorry. I have another
Yes,
meeting that I
yes.
need to be part of. Thank you. Take care,
Please,
guys.
please. Bye. Bye. So, guys, do's and don'ts. I'll quickly take you through it. Keep it concise with no more than two sides, right? Steer clear of unnecessary information such as gender, age, and religion. Even marital status is not required. Nobody cares that if you're married or not. It's not needed, now. Bullet point your achievement and responsibilities, providing more information for your recent role. So, see, what you are doing recently has to be presented upfront, and then your past history. So if you notice, it says bullet point your achievement. So when you add bullets, if you need your CV to be ATS compliant, you need to use round bullets. If you use any other bullets like arrows or squares or any other fancy things, the ATS might find it as garbled information, and it might reject your CV. So ensure that don't make that mistake. List your education and qualifications starting with the most recent first. So always remember that is like a straightforward information. Stick to it. Include your IT skills, relevant training and spoken languages. Like I shared that I speak Hindi, English, and Malayalam. In London it doesn't work. I hardly find people who speak Hindi. Malayalam, yes, there are a lot of South Indians there, but English is what has helped me to gel in. But to be very honest, when you actually come to a new country, the English that they speak is not the English that we speak. So it is a hell different experience, trying to understand what the kids say. So it's been 3 weeks at work, and now I am like somewhat able to get in through their conversations, because they are like speaking so much in between themselves and inside their mouths, and I'm like standing there like spellbound, and I'm shocked, like what should I say. But now it has got a bit easier to talk to and able to understand. So 3 to 4 weeks it takes, kind of a month for you to gel in, but languages definitely help. Ensure you outline hobbies and interests are brief. It's like you don't have to write a whole paragraph about what are your hobbies. Just keep it simple. Now the don'ts. However tempting, don't make your CV too long. So keep it clear, just mention your selling points, nothing else. Yes, this is one point that has been a concern of a lot of debate, whether you should put your photograph or not. So a lot of people argue that they want to share themselves up, but I would never recommend to put your photograph, because nobody nobody is required to see you before they hire you, because that is where the interview is already scheduled for. If you're good with what you have shared, they will definitely call you for an interview. And why a photograph? Just be there in person. Wear your best tie or your shirt or your dress or your suit or your shoes. get your hair all sorted, go with a confidence look, and it is a lot better than your photograph. So don't add photograph, because this ATS thing again, your photograph, it will it will create difficulty for you. So please, no photographs. Yes. So one guy, I'll be honest with you, this is a real experience. One guy, I sent my CV to him, and not this one, like the previous one, and he copied those points from my CV and used. Now the poor guy didn't know that I already had experience, what I had mentioned, and he just used that. He was in an interview and they asked him about several consoles, they asked him about several softwares, they asked him about music theory, and when he got back, and when he got back to me and he said, ki bro, lag gayi meri. It's like I didn't know what to say. So I said, bro, you should have checked, you should have double checked. When you are presenting yourself, you should always share the actual truth. If you want to make it fancy, then study about it. It's not that difficult. So some lies here and there might work, but you have to be smart. You need to be aware about what you're sharing. So sooner or later they will catch up. So don't use that. Again, don't use tables, graphics such as clip art. They look untidy, unsightly, and they will also affect your ATS compliance. I guess, yeah. Use appropriate in Don't use inappropriate email addresses or Twitter names that look unprofessional, like Johnny Bonnie Woo at hotmail.com. Like these kind of names, people find it funny. They might develop an impression about you that you are not serious, or you're too casual with your approach. Best is have your name, your full name at gmail.com. That's the best. So if you ever want to approach me by email, so my email ID is jicksonvgeorge at gmail.com. As simple as that, you know clean and clear. So it is my full name with the email ID that is my professional email ID that goes out everywhere. So that's easy to remember, easy to understand, and good impression. Albert Einstein, his education, PhD in physics, definitely University of Zurich, Switzerland, 1905. It's 1905, yeah. But the font, I will not, I will not recommend that font. But he's Albert Einstein. He never required a CV. So, this is what I would want to become in life, that nobody's asking for my CV. I'm there and people know that, okay, this guy, he has done this, he has done that. So maybe, in life, we have to become that entity where our CVs are not required and people know us. So let's aim for that. But this is just a quick thing. So remember, every employer wants the best person for their job, and it should be you if you are applying for it. Don't apply that you may or may not get. Apply so that you get. All right. And they obviously want the honest and the truthful version of you. And so you just have to begin, working on the best version of yourself. How to search for a job? So a lot of people have asked me, how did you find a job in London? So the whole point is you can find any job anywhere in the whole world because you have internet. How difficult is that? You want to find a job in the US? Just specify your state, your city, your location, and just search. You have internet, you have Google. How difficult it can be. Now you have to be at least smart enough to know what kind of job you want. If you want to apply as a music teacher, now as a music teacher, either you can apply in a school, or you can apply in a music academy or in an institute. So just locate the country where you want to teach, the state, the city, or the district, or the neighborhood, and just search for the schools in that area or the academies in that area. And Google Maps is so developed and so advanced that whatever you will type, it will give you like all the possible searches and information. So you can go to respective schools, you can go into the websites of the respective academies, and you can contact them, and you can send your CVs on a personal level. You can on a one-on-one. You don't even have to worry about the ATS as well. But if that doesn't work for you, you can always Google search teaching jobs. For example, in London, it will give you a list of all the available jobs in London at that point of time, which matches your search. So what I did was, I built my profile on LinkedIn, as my brother mentioned, and that LinkedIn showed me lot of offers for lot of jobs. And through those jobs, whenever I was applying, it redirected me to various other job sites like Guardian, job sites like Glassdoor, Total Jobs, Adzuna. There were like lot of these small agencies, recruiting agencies, employers who were doing like a third party kind of an exchange program for other agencies, for other employers. So one way or another you will end up signing up with lot of these job sites. So right now I am deleting all these mails that I'm getting on my Gmail, because my Gmail is full because of all the ads that I keep getting every day. So it's not that difficult. Even if you want to apply in Australia, you want to apply in the US, you want to apply in France, you want to apply anywhere, you just have to search through Google, get into their specific job sites, fill their form, keep your CVs ready, and just send. You will get a response, and then you work towards it. Specifically LinkedIn, I will definitely recommend. If you do not have a profile, build your profile. If you have a profile, you have not worked over it, please work over it, and don't treat LinkedIn as Facebook. Please don't make that mistake. You will lose a lot of impression. Keep Facebook and Instagram for you know your other activities, and keep LinkedIn strictly for your work related activities. Now, if, for example, a lot of us here are musicians, because a lot of musicians have joined, for the session today. So you will say that we are musicians, we will sing, we will play guitar. Shouldn't we put that on LinkedIn? So the whole point is you put all that on YouTube and share that link on LinkedIn, stating that you have released a song. And if it's formal, it's better. That's the key, because LinkedIn, all these corporate honchos, the CEOs, the HR heads, um, public relation heads, all these executives, all these people are on LinkedIn to network on a formal note. So now, when if they see someone who is not up to their taste, they might not look forward for your profile. So keep your profile clean. Don't go for the same impression that Facebook and Instagram carries. Prepare LinkedIn on a professional note and connect with a lot of people, because you will never know, one or the other person whom you meet through LinkedIn might offer you some job here or there, which can work out for you in the longer run. So a lot of people whom I recommended LinkedIn, they got music teaching jobs through LinkedIn, but it was remote, it was online session. Maybe in future they might receive a job offer to travel to that country and maybe teach. Maybe, I'm not saying that it's 100% definite, but still something better than nothing. So please work on your LinkedIn profiles, build it, maintain it. And there will be a webinar specifically on LinkedIn, and my brother Jackson will be taking that session. And maybe next to next, because next session is already planned, maybe next to next session, we will be having LinkedIn as the main theme, main topic. So if you're interested, please look out for the email notifications. Since your name is already with me, your email IDs are with me, I'll send you the collective notification for all the LCJs that are going to happen in future. Whenever you are interested, you can join in. Last point, social network works the most, Facebook groups. So every area, like Delhi, if you're aware, we have the Bands Association of Delhi, we have a lot of musicians group, we have artist group. So every country, every state, every city will have some or the other group on Facebook, which is filled with real people. And that is why I love Facebook, because I have tried this on Instagram, doesn't work. I have tried this on a lot of other websites, but I have got the best kind of social response, like the interactive response from people on Facebook. Some people say Facebook is old and that, but there are people who are on actual jobs and who are on Facebook groups. So if you join these groups, teacher groups, or audio engineer groups, or singing groups, or guitarist groups, you can interact with people and you can get some side jobs. So I have landed up with a
Bro,
music video. Yeah, job.
yeah, bro, how can we know that the Facebook group that we are looking for is like it's not fake, it's the real people, and it's made by
See,
the unique people and all,
see,
because it's
the
made of
group can be, see, to be honest, I completely get that the group can be made by someone, but when you join that group, you can read through the contents. So when I came to London, I joined a lot of groups, but then I zeroed it on three. I am only part of three groups which are sharing authentic information about activities, about offers for independent classes, guitar lessons, piano lessons, singing lessons, mixing, editing, mixing, mastering jobs, live performances, studio for rent, music equipments for rent. So if you have this kind of information, on the group, then definitely it's an authentic group. But then there will be groups which will only have ads. So just unjoin, just block that group or unjoin that group and get along. We have to be smart with our approach, because the world is filled with all kinds of things. We just have to focus on the right things which are beneficial for us and utilize it. So in a nutshell, it is not difficult to get information if you know where to search and what to search. So just target that. Quora, I recently noticed that has lot of authentic information, because actual people with actual issues and problems will come to Quora, share it, and someone who has got a response or got a solution to that will give a reply. So if you are in that situation, you read it, you might get a lot of information without you actually applying for that same. So Facebook groups and Quora is what I'll recommend. If you find something that is useful, definitely come back and share with me. I'd love to know about it. So cover letters are not much to be taken seriously, but it adds a vibe to your entry, to your application. Standard letter format: greeting, subject, date, your closure, designations and stuff, your brief introduction, name, your location, what is your designation, are you eligible for the job or not. That is what eligibility means. It should not be like your detailed qualifications, because it's not supposed to be in the cover letter, because it's already mentioned in the CV. Your strongest achievements, because sometimes when in the cover letter somebody is reading about you, and you mentioned that you have achieved so and so, so they might read your CV. So in the very simplest form, cover letter is like a quick peek into who you are, so that some person gets motivated to check your CV. So put that kind of information, that when someone reads the cover letter, they will say, okay, I should check this person's CV. So that is the main aim of a cover letter. Qualifications equivalent, see, never put under qualifications. If someone wants someone to be masters in qualifications, and you are just a graduate, don't apply. Don't create like a kind of a uh, you know bad impression for yourself for future applications. If you feel that somebody is expecting a postgraduate and you are a postgraduate, then you can mention, I am a postgraduate in so and so. That works. All right. Skills, just the necessary skills, because the rest everything is being covered in your CV. Experience, most recent, what you were working just before, that is, or if you are still working, just that. Don't put anything else. And yes, this is very important, that you are available, that if you get this job, you are available to start immediately, or your current status means that you will be available in a week's time or in a month's time. It is actually very useful if you mention that you are available and what is your current status. So this is about the cover letter. Anyone has any doubts regarding the cover letter? Because sometimes people come up with doubts about cover letter. It's not something to be taken too seriously, but with a smart approach, it can work out. Anyone, any questions about cover letter? Because I guess we just have, after this, we just have one more, and then we are done for the presentation.
Yeah, so
Anyone?
can I ask
Yeah,
a
yeah, please,
question about
please.
Yeah, so the cover letter, should it be like enthusiastic and informal, or should it be more formal and conservative? What's your opinion on this?
See, I will say kind of a mix. I will say like don't be too quirky because then the person will say ki, he's too casual about it. And if you if you will be like too professional, the person might say it's the person is too boring about it. But what I realized, what I did was I wrote in my cover letter that I'm new to London, and I have been working as a music producer back in India, and I have released 100 plus songs, and I am ready and available. I am fit for the job because I have this kind of experience, and I am currently available. Just that, and I sent it, and the response came back. I was in an interview, and everything went well, and that job was for the main music teacher. So I had a word with them, and they said that they found a person with more experience than me. Obviously I have zero experience here, so I will not get the main job yet. So for that person to select me and check my profile and then go for an interview, all that happened because maybe I did not overdid my cover letter. So you can have it like a small paragraph, a quick read. Don't make it like too much informative, or don't make it like um too engaging but attractive. So it kind of a mix. So you have to you know play smart with your cover letter. Cool.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Cool. Anyone else, anything regarding cover letter? If good to go, then we'll go to the next slide. Work portfolio. So please note, work portfolio means somebody, if they get your portfolio, they should be able to check what you have done. That's it. It doesn't mean anything else. You are not supposed to share about yourself because you have already done that in your CV, you've done that in your resume, done that in your profile. But the portfolio means that if you said that you have worked on 100 songs or you have released 10 music videos, they should be able to click on it and be able to see it. So this is what the work portfolio means. All right. There are certain writers who are friends with me who are from Mumbai, and they said, "Okay, bro, we wrote scripts, okay, for Netflix, for Amazon Prime, and for Bollywood, and that kind of a thing. Should we share that in our work portfolio?" So, what do you think is the answer? Should you or shouldn't you? It is, of course, you have to safeguard it. It has to be copy written, otherwise, anyone can steal your content. So, if you are putting conceptualized ideas, your thoughts, or something that can convert into a bigger thing, it has to be safeguarded. You should have the copyright of it before you share it with everyone else. So, please remember, ensure. I will always recommend put your links. That's it. Your finished work. Don't even share your conceptualized idea, because in India, if someone steals your idea, you will spend the rest of your life fighting the case. You will never win because our law system is like that. So don't put, but still, if you want to, copyright and then put. Brand development, if you were part of a brand and you have developed it, like you held like kind of a senior position, or you were like maybe the senior manager, or you're part of a campaign, or you were part of a program or an event, something that is like that holds good amount of brand value, then you can share that in your portfolio. That will help. That will give a good impression about your work portfolio. So that's about work portfolio. Anyone wants to ask, you can quickly share, and then we'll head into the discussions. Anything? Good to go. All right. Okay.
So,
So
I
yeah,
have a
Shubham.
question.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, Shubham.
hi.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi. All good, man.
Sorry, I
All good.
joined late.
No problem, man.
I think I missed a lot of things. So I just
Yes.
wanted to know from you.
Yeah.
As I can see the session, you're recording the session. So
Yeah.
can we get the recording?
I
Because
will.
if we
I
miss,
will. I will edit this up because I also don't know how many people have joined or who are part of it, but I will definitely will be editing this whole thing in a way that it's small and crisp and people can go through the information and they can make use of it.
Okay, great, sir. Great. I hope you're having a good time
Yes,
in
I'm
UK.
having a great time. Yes, 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 I'm having a great, and I want everyone else to have a great time because the moment I talk to people, mostly people are sad, they are upset, they are dejected, they are like demotivated because of how things are, on the home front. So all this is just the reason I am doing all this because I want, people to actually enjoy living their life because I have started enjoying living my life since I've been here. It's been a good time over here. So all this is just part of that.
Wow.
I'll definitely share. Okay, I'll work on it. It's just that I don't get that kind of a time now because my day starts around 8 in the morning, no, 7 in the morning, and it ends around 5 in the evening. So then you are like not in a mood to then again, turn on your system and edit the thing. So Saturday and Sunday are the 2 days that I get a weekend off, and weekends are like a big deal. And that this is what I have also felt. Why people, in the West, they will work for 5 days dedicatedly, no nonsense, they will work full time, they'll do their job, no short or loose ends, and then weekend they will party. So Saturday and Sundays everyone is enjoying traveling, having fun parties, life is great. So in that it gets a bit difficult to get into the technical work, but I'll definitely work it out, and I'll put it on YouTube. All right, that works.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else, anyone, anything else?
Sir, one more question I have.
Hmm.
Like, I just wanted to know, like, how different is to have a job in like UK as compared to other countries. Like,
Okay.
I got a job from Singapore. So there
Hmm.
is one IB school,
Hmm.
OSS, international
Hmm.
school,
Yeah. Yes.
which
Yes.
in
Yes.
Singapore.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm. Hmm.
I got, I think I got a job during lockdown, just because of
Okay.
Singapore government has put some restriction
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
overseas
Hmm.
visa. So
Yes.
I just
Yes.
wanted to know how different it is in UK. Like, if someone wants to do anything, like in terms of doing a job or kind of thing.
See, the point is UK jobs are 90% for UK citizens who are living in the UK. But the 10% jobs are available through certificate of sponsorship or through visa. So these 90% jobs are like almost all private jobs that we get to see, these
Okay.
teaching jobs or music production jobs or corporate jobs, basically any mainstream jobs that you look at, these 90% jobs, these 10% jobs that I'm talking about is basically maybe the government jobs, which are especially the healthcare. So my wife, she got a job in the NHS trust, which is like the healthcare body of UK, and she got a job in that. She got a visa, she came here, and now I traveled on her dependent visa. So if you
Mm.
are coming to UK on a dependent visa, then you are actually free to take any work. So I can work here as a teacher, I can work here as a music producer, I can work here as an artist, I can work in a shop, I can work as an engineer, I can literally do any work apart from being a sports person or being a medical practitioner. Apart from these two, I am free to take up any work. But if you get the certificate of sponsorship from your employer, you know and then you travel, then you can stay here because then you will have a resident visa and you can stay here.
Okay.
You can even buy a house in the long run, and you can develop your lifestyle and whatever you want to achieve, buy a car, buy a house, start a family, anything. But that certificate of sponsorship is very rare. It's very rare. It's like it doesn't come that easily. You have to be like top notch and like exceptionally skilled, talented, experienced, awesome in the eyes of the recruiter. Only then you are able to travel it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. So the next session is a specialization session on Logic Pro, because why I wanted to do this, because there are a lot of people who, who are being a musician or singers, or even if they are into music production, are unable to get like a better hand at it, and almost all the courses are quite expensive. So I am doing like a free session just like this. So this is the part 4 where I will be sharing about Logic Pro, what you can do in Logic Pro, how you can build songs in Logic Pro, how you can make songs and sell them. Because to be very honest, I got a few offers for the songs that I did here after coming here, and now those songs might get sold for a couple of £100 or £200. So that's like 10,000 to 20,000 rupees, or it can even go to 300 to £400. So the whole point is you can make money sitting at home if you work on a software, and it may not be Logic, it can be Ableton, it can be uh, Presona Studio One, it can be Fruity Loops. The whole point is you just need to get a hang of music production with basic skills and basic equipments, and you can make money by selling your songs. So there is a way, there is a get around it, and this is working out for me, and this is taking shape, so I can help you if you are also interested for this. So there will be like a collective session about, especially for Logic Pro. So if you have Logic Pro, great. If you don't have Logic Pro, then you can get to know how you can get Logic Pro, how you can invest on it, and how you can build songs that you might be able to sell and make some money for yourself, even if you are at home and if you are unable to get into a job. So this is gonna be the next session on the 4th of July, same time, 8 p.m. I will be sending out the invitations in the same way how you received, this. Also, if anyone would like to opt out, please let me know so that I can remove your names, because sometimes the emails that you get might be annoying. I don't want to like annoy you too much. Only if you are interested for these sessions, you can, keep updated, and there will be a LinkedIn session as well. So I will share that through the email. So that's about it. That's a recap. The main topics were how to, present your CV, how to, present your resume, how to design it, and what is ATS compliance, how to search for a job, how to make a cover letter, your work portfolio, and additional topics which we have discussed in a little bit brief here. The IELTS, which is the International English Language Testing System, which is very important if you are planning to go and work abroad, because you will have to give this exam back in your home country, get a score above 7 or 7.5, and then only you are eligible to get that job. So a lot of people, they are unable to travel even after getting a job, is because they are unable to clear this IELTS. And there's a huge business back in India who are making a lot of money by taking in those people who are struggling with IELTS. So if you dwell deeper into IELTS, you will get to know a lot of more information about it. COS, as I mentioned, certificate of sponsorship. This is what your employer has to send you, which is actually your visa that enables you. So a quick information piece about COS. So in UK, the minimum COS has to be of like 24,000 pounds. 24,000 pounds. Only then the COS is valid, so that you can come over here and you can live here. Otherwise, the COS is not valid. So please remember that the COS has to be like, it has to be a valid COS. Otherwise, it won't work out for you. So um, the COS is also ensuring that the amount that your employer is giving you is also supporting a dependent. So, for example, I am being supported by my wife's salary. Now, if I don't work here, I don't do any job here, I can still stay here because my wife is getting that amount from her employer. But it's an add on if I also get a job. So you can come here on a dependent. God knows you get a kind of a job, a very high paying job, and you know tables turn and you make 3 times more money, and things work out for you even better. So you have to keep applying. That's the key, and you have to be very smart with your approach, because the better your approach, the smarter you are with how you are approaching for jobs, are the more chances. And there's one point, a lot of people ask me, like, not everyone can take a job abroad, then it might not be useful for so many people. So I told them, it doesn't matter if you get a job abroad or not, if you're able to travel, but at least create a profile, create a CV, or create your impression so strong that wherever you are applying, you get a job, even if it's in India, if it's in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, anywhere. Like, a CV is a CV. If it goes to US, if it goes to UK, goes to Singapore, goes to Mumbai, your impression will always be the same, because what you are mentioning in it is what people will get to know about you. So doesn't matter if you are able to travel abroad or not. What is the matter of fact, what is the point, is your profile has to be strong. So don't keep it on a loose end. Please work on it. And if you need any help regarding developing your CV, you want someone to check your CV, you can send it to me. I'll check your CV for you. I'll send you the feedback, and I can help you design your CV. As I told, my brother did it for me. I can ask him, he can help in that process. So ensure that you approach uh, a smart way, because it is possible. It's hard, but it's not impossible. So that's for today. If anyone has any questions about this, and if you would like to get to know about certain job offers and work opportunities, kind of jobs, so I'm going to open the previous presentation, the part 2. So the last couple of points is what Arjun actually asked, so I'm going to share that here. If anyone wants to stay for the same, you can stay, who have not attended. If anyone wants to leave, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you had a good time. If you have any doubts, if you want to ask anything, if there is any concerns, questions, you can do it right now, or you can even give me a message or a call back after this session, or any time later. So the stage is open. Please, anyone would like to ask anything, please go ahead. Apart from a musician, the kind of jobs that are available, especially in abroad, is a teaching assistant, which is called a TA, which is the position that I am currently in. So the job of a TA is to support or help the music teacher. So you can call the role as an assistant role, but it's actually a teaching role. So you are not like sitting idle, you are actually teaching along with the main music teacher, and you are giving away the lesson in respect to what the music teacher has taught. And the best part about teaching assistant is, it doesn't require too much of qualifications or too much of experience. Like, this is that one position that I feel almost anyone can get, because if I can get it, then I feel that anyone can get it, because it's not that difficult, because my qualifications are limited to audio engineering. So that worked for me, because my recruiter in my profile, so the keyword here, how it works, my recruiter read Logic Pro in my profile. And Logic Pro is the software that most schools here in UK, they work on. So I'll tell you how schools work. Students are coming in, and they are coming to the music room. They are all sitting on their respective systems. They log in, and they start working on their projects. Some children, they are working on playing the piano, some are working on the guitar, some are working on the drums, some are going into the studio and recording their songs, some are sitting and writing their songs. So as a job, as a teaching assistant, you are supposed to be with children one at a time, or with one child throughout the time, and help them get along with their content. The curriculum is very sorted. The curriculum includes music business, how to develop a music product, how to release your song, about music composition, about artist profiling, how to develop your profile as an artist. So very real time and very constructive, very productive concept in education, which I feel that in India we never got in our studies. Because if we got such kind of information or knowledge while we were studying, we would have never hated music in our schools. But things are different over here. They are more focusing on the practical side of it. So as a teaching assistant, it is very easy to get a job. But yes, teaching assistant salary does not cover the certificate of sponsorship. So you cannot get a teaching assistant job and travel from India to UK to work as a teaching assistant. So this is the trick part. You can become a teaching assistant if you are here from the UK. All right. So please remember this. Music teacher, the same thing I told about teaching assistant. Now there are additional roles of a music teacher. The music teacher has to maintain, the digital upkeep, providing reports of all the students all the time, providing all the grades, preparing all the sessions, preparing all the day-to-day activities, preparing the weekly activities. There's quite a lot of work. So if I had got the music teacher job in the interview that I had applied for, I think I may not be may not have justified that role, because now I'm realizing it's too much of work, and for a newbie like me here, I wouldn't have survived. So I'm glad that I am in my current position. It's not much of a stress, and my music teacher is pretty cool with his ideas, and he has taken me well. And music teachers, of course, they have a very strong personality, so everyone loves him in the school. And so it is trickling down to me as well. So I am having a good time at work, because my music teacher is very supportive, and he is ensuring that I am stress free, and there is actually no stress. So it's good. Lecturer in audio technology is strictly for colleges, and is strictly if you have done masters, or you have like attained your PhD in audio engineering, or in music. Because if you want to enter the college environment, you have to be highly qualified. So if you have done your graduation, you are graduate in business science, sorry, bachelor's in science or bachelor's in music, then it is recommended that you do your MSc, or you take up a diploma, or you take up your masters. You finish your post graduation, then you apply for your PhD, you study till that level, and then you get a job in lecturer in audio technology. This is a kind of a hot job here in UK, because there are not much people who will you know study till that point. So if you want to dedicate your life and become like a professor, then you can do that from India, and you can get a CUS for this job. So I checked, and it is available, it is possible. The college can send you the CUS. You can come to UK to teach in that college as a professor, get a place for yourself to rent, live, teach, earn, buy a house in 5 to 10 years, and continue your life here in UK. It's possible. Studio engineer, same thing. You have to ensure that the systems are running. You might ask to record, you might ask to edit the content. Not much of mixing jobs, because everyone here is an expert, so you won't get like so many offers to do the engineering part of stuff. But most studio engineers are there to have the studio upkeep, for the maintenance, to ensure that the clients are they are good to go. And studio engineers are also supposed to ensure all the logistics are fine, all the machines are running well. So that's the kind of a job which independent studios are offering. So if you're into audio engineering, this position is applicable. But again, no COS, no visa for this job. You have to be in the country to get this job. Music producer. Now, a lot of music producers, whom I had a word with, they, even though they are from here, but it's almost the same like in India. Clients come in, they go out, they have a team, they have a gang, they have a group, they have a hustle. So being a music producer can be quite challenging, but if you are well settled, you can make up to 3,000 pounds. That is 3 lakhs for one song. That's the kind of earning. You can get 3 lakhs, 3 lakh rupees or 3,000 pounds to produce one song if you are the music producer. So that's why a lot of people, my music teacher, who's my senior at work, he is almost there, to cross over to being a full-time music producer, but he's already doing it and he's already making, this kind of money working for artists in the UK, especially rap music, drill music, trap music. This is the kind of the underground music scene here in UK. The main music scene is almost the same everywhere in the world. Pop music, you listen to, uh, what are the names? Justin Bieber and all these people, that kind of vibe, that kind of Drake and all these guys, the hip hop guys, or the popular musicians. That music will be there throughout the world. You go anywhere, be in India or be in US or UK or Europe or Southeast Asia, everywhere popular music will be the same. But everywhere there will be an underground music, the local music that people are engaged in. So that's the reason why I asked you, like, if you are good with your music production, you make a song on Logic, or you send that project over, you can sell your project, you can send your song, you can send your beats. That's what people say. Hey bro, you have a beat, I'll pay you 100 grands for that beat, maybe 100 pounds for that beat, and you can do a transaction. So music producers, they live off in that way. Again, music producer, being a music producer is more of an independent job. There are companies which can hire. So Arjun, this is maybe what you wanted to know. So companies, they hire music producers, but the music producer role is more of corporate oriented. They want the music producer to have good stronghold with client relationships, have good communication or network with professionals who are into the marketing world, who are into the business development world, so that they can fetch business. It is not more of the music production, it is more of the business, to drive a company or to drive an entity. So music producer job is more like a senior job. You need to be like 40, 50, to get adequate experience, and you need very, very, very strong network with the corporate world. Only then you get a job as a music producer here in UK or in US or in Europe. It's like, it's not an easy job. You have to be in the lower ranks for like at least 10, 15 years to have a good strong profile as a music producer. Same, assistant producer. So assistant producers end up becoming music producers. So it's the same line. You could be an audio engineer, you could be a singer, or you could be a marketing expert or a marketing executive, or you could be a promoter, and then you can enter into being an assistant producer and then become a music producer. Game audio designer is like a very lucrative job, very high paying job. All right, so I guess the salary is over like 70,000 pounds and stuff, 80,000 pounds for a year. That's like a lot of money. So you need a science background. If you don't have a science background, you can't get this job, because this is more about special audio design. This is more about audio coding. This is more about designing the audio structures, especially what we hear in game audio. So if you have a background in music, especially in science, you can take a course for game audio, and these people, they send COS. So it is available. So there are companies like PlayStation, you all are aware, Xbox, PlayStation, and there are a lot of agencies which hire people from all across the world, to design audio codes for games, and for live entertainment activities, or for live streaming activities, especially gaming tournaments, or these kind of programs. So it's a very highly lucrative job. Editor, yes, you can edit songs, you can clean the songs, pitch perfect the songs. Again, these jobs are not available for people who are outside the country. They are looking for people who are available locally, and they will search for people who are available and give them the job. So being an editor, you can work remotely. Yes, that is possible. They will send you the track, you have to fix it and send it back. If you're good at it, you can make like good amount, kind of like 500 to 1,000 pounds. That's like 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees for a track. So that's possible. Mixing mastering engineer, again, like editor, independent job, very cutthroat competition here in the UK, because every single person is expansionally like talented and skilled here. So you cannot that easily get into mixing and mastering. Nobody will give you their project that easy. You need to have a name, you need to have a strong impression, for to get a job or to get a deal. Film audio composer, sound designer, that is again into the movie industry. There are agencies, independent agencies, which hire film audio composers. So again, you need to have a very strong portfolio. You need to have already catered to movies and television. So BBC here hires people, so you can apply at BBC. So they have their networks, they have their internship programs, they have their job offers which they send out, and they sometimes offer higher roles, senior roles, for which they can send you COS. So BBC is kind of a brand, it's a big brand. So BBC can offer you a COS. Small companies, small agencies, they will not be able to offer you a COS. But if you apply like BBC or Viacom, so you can get a COS. It is possible, but you need to be exceptionally talented for that. And please know, there is already a cutthroat business. So these are the kind of jobs and work that you can get, like if you come over here, if you work here. Some will give you a COS, some won't. So please check before you apply. So that's more like it. I will be adding on to this information in the next session. So whenever I develop an update, I will share you. So any questions? Arjun, did I answer your question, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In a lot of detail. So thank you so much, sir.
Great. Most welcome. Anything else, Arjun, you wanted to know about it?
I think no, all of these it covers all the questions I had. This all these slides, especially this
Great.
one about jobs and work.
Yes, yes, yes. And I have only prepared it like on a basic level. This goes into detail, okay? So anytime you want to know, because a lot of people after such sessions, I usually engage with everyone on a one-on-one, because everyone will have their specific queries, specific progress. So at any point of time, you want to know about any information, you want any detail, you can always let me know, on a one-on-one communication. I'll be glad to share all the possible information that I have at that point of time. All right, that works.
Okay, sure, sir.
Great.
Sir. So I
Yeah,
can reach
and
out to you on Facebook or
yeah,
email.
yeah, yes,
Okay.
anywhere, anywhere. It's just that we need to be in communicative terms. That's all. Rest is all good to go. Can be anywhere: email, Facebook, Insta, wherever.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Thanks so much for all
Cool.
this information.
No problem, man. No problem. So business models, wherever you are, you can have your own studio, you can have your own clientels, you can have your own projects. So I started playing keyboard here. I recently played at a wedding, and I got £100. That is like 10,000 rupees for that gig. And now next month again, I am having another wedding that's happening in Cambridge. So I'm going for that, and maybe I'll get paid a little bit more. So the point is, that wedding when I played, I actually, I don't know, but I did a good job and I got a lot of good reviews. The organizer got a lot of good reviews. The guy who got me there, he got good reviews. So I am in the business right now. I am one of those guys who are available in a specific geographical location, who can deliver that kind of service. So I am being catered to. Now there's one more guy who's like an expert level keyboardist, but he lives far off. He lives in Wales. So if they need to get him to play a gig in London, they will have to pay him like a lot more. So they are not entertaining him, they are entertaining me. So I can do this until someone comes who's better than me. So they might switch over. But as of now, you know, it is going good for me. And the projects that I mentioned, I prepared a logic project and I played it, and this was one of the student who said that he's interested to buy that track for me for like almost 300 pounds, so like that's 30,000 rupees. So I said, fine bro, if you like it, I'll give it to you, let me work on it, and maybe this week, you know he might take it. Even if it doesn't, it's a good track, I might use it. So you have to do your work in order to attract your clients. Record label is very far-fetched idea, but you can definitely start your record label. You need to take a client, an artist, into confidence and release that song for that artist take the revenue and share royalty with that artist. If you can get into all that, you can start your record label. So the giants are like Sony, BMG, T series and all. So if you are planning to do that, I have a record label for myself. It's called Tantra Records, that I started for myself, but I help out people, who would like to get their songs released. Artist and event management firm, one something that very common in Delhi. You do a gig for someone, you are an artist manager, you are an event manager. So you just have to organize the event, get all the logistics sorted, get all the payments, give away the payments, give the payments. That's what people don't do in Delhi. They don't give the payments to the artist. So if you are doing an artist and event management work, ensure that you take the money and you give out who deserves what, and you can earn commissions, you can earn profits while doing this. Songwriter, being a songwriter, nobody is stopping you, bro, to write your own song. You can write the song that you want, get it produced, release it, and become the next superstar. Nobody is stopping you to become the next big thing. When I am in school and when the class is going on, the main teacher, he is sitting with a notepad and a pen. The student is rapping and he is writing down, he is helping. And the next day they are recording that track, and it's a brilliant track. And lot of students who have passed from that school, who have been through that music curriculum, sorry, they are now making lot of money by professionally doing it, just because they went through that music lesson, through that teacher, and they learnt the essence or the importance of songwriting, and they are doing it as a career. I honestly don't know why people are waiting to put their skills and talent out. There is nothing to lose. You just have to write a song, lyrically make it beautiful, compose it, take the help of those people who can help compose, take the help of those people who can provide you with music, engineer the song, use a digital distribution and put it out. And if you want to make it more fancy, you put a video on YouTube and you can make money out of it. It is possible. So you really don't have to wait for anyone to become a songwriter. So if you like it, it is your own business model. You make all the money for yourself. Musicians for hire, if you're good with playing, for example, like when I played for the wedding, I did it as musicians for hire. If you're good with your guitar, good with your saxophone, good with your flute, good with any activity, you can give your services for hire. Freelance music teacher, independent music teacher, you can take private lessons, private tuitions, you can get paid. Few people who were part of the first session, she got clients back in US. So now what she's doing, she's taking online lessons for these people in US, and they are paying her via PayPal. So she is getting the money in her account, and she is giving them lessons online, and she is making money. So it is possible. So you can definitely work as a freelance music teacher and make money giving lessons online. The whole point is you have to be genuine, you have to be creative, you have to be very patient, you have to be tech savvy, and you have to be skilled with what you are doing. Very important. Being a developer, again, science background, coding, if you have it, you can literally make a lot of money. I regret not knowing about it when I was in school, because nobody told me that you can do audio engineering being in the science background, take computer science, learn audio engineering, learn coding, and my life would have been brilliant, because that was the kind of field I was interested. But nobody told me this. Nobody gave me this counseling. And if you wanted to be musician back in school, you had to take arts. So that was the kind of impression that we grew in. But the world has changed. So since I know about this, I am always sharing about it. Like, let people know that there are a lot of options, lot of opportunities, especially the young children whom you see growing up. Tell them that they can take up science and become audio engineers, they can learn coding, they can become game audio developers, make a lot of money. you can help a lot of people, come out of their disappointments in life or their trauma of rejections. If you can guide them, this is what I am doing. I'm helping with whatever knowledge or information. It's just 1% of the whole 100% around us, but I feel good, to give away the information that I have, because this is what we should do, that we are not doing. So if you can help someone with the information that you have, it will be like really great. Agency, you can be a private agency, get some people's work, give it to someone, make profits, commission, and all that. So this work that I'm doing right now can get converted into an agency work, where I am doing a session, I'm inviting a guest, I have people who are going through the session, they can make the payment to attend the session, and we can make money out of it.